You're all invited to the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it or you can help me to stop it.
Candyman.
What's up, goons and goblins? Welcome back to another episode of the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon. I'm one of the hosts of this show. My name is Rob.
And I'm Brad.
And I'm Will.
And today on the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon, we are going to be talking about a genre of horror films that is up there with the... it's a classic genre, right? It's up there with your vampire movies, your zombie movies, your possession movies. Today, I'm going to try to stop saying so much. We're going to talk about werewolf movies. The transformations, the bone cracking, clothes shredding, ligament stretching,
Fur growing. Yeah.
Snout elongating.
Ooh.
Those are some of the creepiest ones, is when they show the snout.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Before we get too much into it, I want to come fully clean. As far as movies go, I'm just not a werewolf dude. So if I'm being like, when it comes time for the top 5, if I had to rank the top 5 werewolf movies that I had seen, 3 of the top 5 would be Underworlds, because I've only seen like 4 of them. Okay, just because it's what I have to go off. So I will, as somebody who does not partake in werewolf film and cinema, other than like academically, I will bow out of too much discussion of the top films and that kind of thing.
I mean, I do love the Underworld movies.
Yeah, man, those are rad.
Especially the prequel.
Ooh, the prequel was fun.
Yeah. There's too much leather for me to be a grown man and say they're like some of my favorite movies, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not in my top 5.
Yeah, there's too much leather and wet hair.
Those came out in that 2000s era where every female hero wore black spandex or black leather.
Yep, and every movie had that weird, dark tinge to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like everything is the Underworld universe the precursor to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I don't know. I know it's...
I've never thought of that, so I'm going to say no just because I've never...
Okay. All right.
I think the Underworld movies are like if you let nu metal direct a movie.
That's what it is, yeah.
Well, I mean, most of us watched them because of Kate Beckinsale and Werewolf.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I've ever watched anything with Kate Beckinsale was for Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
And for that one time to see Gary Oldman play a short person, a little person. That was pretty great. Have you ever seen that movie, Will? Tiptoes?
No, I've never watched it. I've heard of it.
Dude.
But no, I've never seen it.
This movie was made in 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Like CGI, like we've had CGI for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they made the artistic choice to just make Gary Oldman walk around on his knees with shoes on his kneecaps.
Practical effects, man.
Oh, no.
You gotta love practical effects. Was Phil Tippett on that one?
yeah, because he walked around on his knees with shoes on his knees, and then shit and vomit shot out of both ends into giant machines made of cogs and teeth.
Did Peter Dinklage go on record complaining about it not being an actual dwarf?
I think so.
Because he definitely did with the Oompa Loompas.
Really?
I think it was the Oompa Loompas, and it was something else recently he got real mad about, that it wasn't actual dwarves.
Chill out, man. You're getting work.
Yeah.
You could stop working.
Yeah.
He's won Emmys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the most handsome little person?
Yeah.
I think
He's
so.
a handsome dude.
Tom Cruise. No. No, man. Tom Cruise is a handsome son of a gun.
You got me. You got us there, brother. You got us there.
But a better actor than Tom Cruise.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
100%.
He's the most talented. He's the most talented little person. Well, I feel like I shouldn't have said that.
I was going to say, man, have you seen the ones that they throw like darts against the Velcro boards?
No.
Never mind. Back up.
Cut
Cancel.
this.
Cancel.
Don't make Tom Cruise come after you, man.
Ooh.
This documentary stuff, man.
Yeah. We don't need the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, we don't need crab people coming for us.
Not even once, man. So before we get into the best of the best when it comes to werewolf movies, we need to know where we came from with werewolf movies, with a little bit of horror history.
Starting there. All right. So, the modern day interpretation of werewolves in cinema absolutely symbolizes humanity's fear of the beast within. What is left of humanity when you strip the trappings of civilization and society and human culture and community from the human being, and people start giving in to their lesser urges, right? That is absolutely where most werewolf media comes from today, right? However, werewolves and what they symbolize did not begin that way. And werewolf myths and legends and stories have probably been around humanity for as long as people have been telling stories.
Yeah.
Right? Thousands of years ago. There are cultures around the world that all kind of share one thing in common. There are cultures in South America that tell tales of human beings transforming into like jaguars, and Western Europe is where we really get our tradition of the werewolf from today. So I'm going to focus on that. But that is to say that originally werewolf myths began as symbols for the fear of the frontier.
Oh.
Or the fear of the wilderness, right? It's only until recently that human beings have lived in societies where wilderness did not offer a survival challenge.
True.
So, most of human history, especially in areas like Western Europe, where people lived so closely to the wilderness and so closely specifically to wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Packs of wolves were really a concern for people for a long time in human history. Right?
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, me and Big Love talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
What if wolves had fucking wings, dude?
Wild, man.
Can you imagine?
Big Love thought that, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, alpha predator.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
that
Yeah,
would
packs of wolves in the sky.
Yeah, dude, imagine, and he broke it down for me too, dude. Imagine you wake up one morning, you come out of your house, there's a flying V of wolves coming at you.
Oh, dude. But do they lay eggs?
You know what? Birds lay eggs. Birds have wings.
Bats have wings, and bats don't lay eggs. So I take back what I said. They're flying mammals that don't lay eggs.
Ooh, you know what? Flip it on its head. They mate like fish now.
Okay, cool. Oh no!
Just they crop dust the eggs of the females.
There you go.
Oh God, we would be so overpopulated with flying wolves.
Oh, we'd be fucked, dude. There wouldn't be any of us left.
No.
No. So, going back to it, werewolves have been. They're a cultural tradition for humanity for as long as humanity has had cultural traditions and storytelling. Like I talked about on the zombie episode, there are burial traditions that predate Homo sapiens. There are probably similar things, myths, legends, tales of monsters that probably predate a lot of human society.
Well, think about it. Like, as long as there's been people coexisting, or not coexisting, because we were getting at the survival aspect of it, but like people in close proximity to animals, right?
Yeah.
Like, it only makes sense that you would start to get stories about shapeshifters and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And that is to say that tales about werewolves and shapeshifters and man transforming into beast, they're not always cautionary tales, necessarily.
No.
If you go back far enough in time, people lived so closely in conjunction with nature in the wilderness that there are tales about werewolves that symbolize learning to live with the wilderness and learning to live with nature. Oh. There's a story that came around in about the 1100s about a person named Bisclavret, right? And in this, a nobleman is transformed into a wolf, but rather than being cast out by society or turning into a monster, he is brought into society and domesticated, symbolizing he learned to live with nature.
That's just Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's the Jungle Book.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Similar. So, it's not... If you go back far enough in specifically medieval history, there are tales that are cautionary and tales that are... what's the opposite of cautionary? Affirming, I guess.
Affirming? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say affirming for now.
Cautionary and inspiring?
Inspiring, inspirational. However, werewolves in folk tradition were not always monsters. A couple of things changed. Okay. Specifically, there were tales of werewolves, and the tales that we have about people and werewolves today mostly come from court records that were maintained by the Catholic Church as they expanded their administration throughout different parts of Western Europe. So before the court and before the Catholic Church really had an administrative bureaucracy throughout Western Europe, a lot of the people were kind of left to just administer werewolf justice for themselves. So we really don't have records of those.
Administer werewolf justice?
Yes.
That sounds like
Well, you got to remember, in medieval Europe and in Europe back then, most people were unable to read. So really the only folks who were capable of keeping a historical record were folks who were educated, and throughout pretty much medieval Europe and into the Renaissance, the only people who were educated by the Catholic Church. All right?
Okay.
So, our first records of werewolf trials and witch trials, they often happened in conjunction with one another.
That's crazy.
But our first records of werewolf trials start back in the 15th century. But they don't really pick up until later on in the 16th century. And there are, in the 16th century, so in the 1500s, there is a massive surge of people being accused and convicted of, and then executed for being werewolves. One reason is that in 1452, the printing press is invented. And then by the 1600s, there are around 1,000 printing presses throughout Europe. So stories and pamphlets are printed and sent around Europe like en masse. Another explanation is that at this time in Europe, there's something called the Little Ice Age, which is like this very short-lived cold snap where pretty much famine just became common because there's less goods, there's less agriculture, people aren't able to grow as many crops, so people are starving to death.
Oh,
right?
shit.
So there are upticks in a lot of things, but also cannibalism. Absolutely. Sees an uptick in Europe in the 1500s.
Really?
And then another thing. Oh, yeah.
They don't talk about that shit.
Well, if you look at these cases, there are absolutely people who are accused of werewolves. There is cannibalism to explain for these charges being brought. Whether or not the people did it who are accused did it. But there are...
That as part of the evidence is usually...
Is somebody gets eaten and they start looking for people to accuse. Right? And then another thing is that at the end, by 90s, the Crusades have pretty much come to an end. And the Catholic Church, and this is kind of my own theory, I don't know that I found this anywhere, but this is my thinking, is the Catholic Church throughout, from pretty much the year 900 to 1400, has learned that it can get a lot of power if it is able to unite Christians against the common enemy. But when the Crusades come to an end, they don't have a common enemy to unite people to. So that crusade, that giant effort that allowed them to expand this massive Catholic bureaucracy throughout Western Europe comes to an end until 1515. And a dude named Martin Luther nails his 95 Theses to a door and kickstarts the Protestant Reformation. So now, the Holy War that the Catholic Church has been looking for since the Crusades came to an end comes home to England. So there is a holy war between Catholics and Protestants in all these small communities throughout Europe as Protestantism and alternatives to the Catholic Church get going.
Okay.
Right? So that is this perfect... That's just the backdrop for these two cases that I want to talk about specifically that I think represent very well the kinds of symbolism of werewolves in media in general, but in human history at large.
Okay.
The first one I want to talk to y'all about comes to us from a little region of France called the Franche-Comté. And in let me double check this. It's 1574. In the year 1574, there is a famine due to the Little Ice Age. And Franche-Comté in the 1570s is as frontier as you can be while still being in France.
Okay.
All right. Franche-Comté is a region of France that is now on the border with Switzerland.
Okay.
So it's on the eastern border of France, the northwestern border of Switzerland, and it is as far from the civilization in Paris as you can be. The people living in Franche-Comté are mostly farmers. There's a lot of vineyards in Franche-Comté.
Okay.
And then in 1573 or 74, during the middle of this famine, somebody finds the dismembered and partially consumed bodies of two young girls who were out working in a vineyard. So, this is the backdrop. Very disheartening.
Yeah.
But there's no evidence for who might have done it.
Really?
Right? So the villagers get together. There's no clear evidence, and even if there wasn't forensics then. It's not like these are educated folks.
Right. I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, you're right.
So they don't know for sure who to blame, but they know that living in the woods is the weirdo hermit of their village, a guy named Gil Garnier. And Gil Garnier was a hermit. He had trouble fitting into society. In 1573, he had recently gotten married to a woman named, I think, Apolline, and had children. And during this famine, he was having trouble providing food for his family and his new wife. He was used to living off in a cabin in the woods, in the pine woods by himself. So, these two young girls, their bodies are found, and the natural conclusion that the villagers come to them was that Gil Garnier must be behind it.
Yeah.
Right? So they track down the hermit, Gil Garnier.
It really is a story as old as time, isn't it? Get the outsider.
Yeah.
The outsider specifically. Remember that.
Yeah.
Remember the outsider. They get Gil Garnier, and this is, I mean, there's no innocent until proven guilty yet.
No.
Right? They torture Gil Garnier for hours. I'm trying to find exactly how. I don't know that I've been able to find exactly the means of torture that they used against Garnier, but essentially,
probably not good.
No. We're going to talk about a guy here in a second named Peter Stump. But Gil Garnier, under torture and under extreme duress, confesses to being a werewolf. And according to Gil Garnier, one evening, while deep in the wilderness hunting, trying to provide for his family, he came across the devil. And the devil, seeing him struggle to provide for this family, according to Gil Garnier, or according to accounts later, the devil offered Gil an ointment that would transform him into the shape of a wolf and allow him to hunt.
Oh.
And Gil Garnier confessed to using this ointment to eat children in villages around France, and confessed to using the ointment to eat the two young girls. And then, obviously, he was executed and burned at the stake for his supposed crimes.
Can we just pause and say, why is this not a movie? But flip it to where all that is true, and he really was taking an ointment.
He really was an ointment from the devil.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Like this, that should be a movie. Like,
really
I
should.
would watch that.
Yeah. There are, throughout the 1500s, there were several hundred people who were accused and executed for being a werewolf. And about all of them are...
Several hundred is a lot.
Several hundred is a bunch.
Yeah.
Right? So that is 74?
There's several hundred people in Ullum.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's 1574, and I wanted to talk about Gil Garnier because he represents the fear of... The symbolism of the werewolf as the fear of the wilderness and the fear of the outsider and the fear of what is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? A mere 15 years later, there's another person who comes from very different circumstances than Gil Garnier. And this person is living in a region of Germany called Strasbourg.
Okay.
His name in, I guess the English is Peter Stump. In the original German, it was probably Peter Stump.
Peter Stumpen.
Peter Stump. But Peter Stump, I'm going to keep referring to him as, was not an outsider. Peter Stump was a wealthy farmer. Peter Stump was known in the community of Strasbourg. Peter Stump had a very successful family.
Oh, shit.
Peter Stump also... possibly one of the worst decisions he could make. By 1589, Peter Stump had converted from Catholicism to Protestantism. And he had left the Catholic Church. And this is an area where the Catholic Church was trying to maintain control.
Got you.
At the time. So, a similar situation happens. Children with parts of their body dismembered, missing flesh comes up. Alright? And I'm not sure how it came to be, but I'm sure the Catholic Church having found the bodies of children who had been partially consumed. Yeah, essentially children were coming up missing in the area of Strasbourg. And there were bodies being found, specifically with, I think this is the one where there were chunks of flesh missing from many of the victims' thighs.
Oh.
All right. So the Catholic Church, in this backdrop of famine and this backdrop of competing with Protestant religions for control over regions of Germany, sees probably what is a great opportunity for them to get rid of somebody who stands in their way of complete control of Strasbourg. And Peter Stump, the well-known, wealthy farmer and community member, is accused of being a werewolf. All right? And what happens after that depends on which account you look at. There are accounts that claim he was threatened with torture on the rack, where they take somebody and they stretch them until their joints pull apart.
Like Braveheart?
Yeah. Yeah. There are accounts that say that he was threatened with that treatment and he confessed before they could give it to him. There are accounts that say that they had barely started that torture when he confessed. What most likely happened is that Peter Stump denied the charges until he was stressed and pretty much stretched to the point where his knees pulled apart, his arms came dislocated, and under torture, Peter Stump confessed to pretty much having been a vampire for over a decade. Not a vampire, sorry. A werewolf for over a decade. All right, according to Peter Stump, a similar situation, he had met a devil. The devil had given him a magical belt made out of wolf flesh. Wearing the belt would allow him to transform into a werewolf, and then Peter Stump, according to accounts, confessed to using this to give in to his lesser urges and consume the flesh of human beings. He was convicted of incest, he was convicted of killing his own son, and he was convicted of killing and consuming about 16 people, including his son, 13 children, 2 men, and 1 woman. Peter Stump is then taken from the rack. He is put on the wheel, where they put somebody on there and they twist them.
Yeah.
He's broken on the wheel. He is beheaded. As a warning to other would-be werewolves, the people of Strasbourg built a giant pole with the effigy of a wolf, and on top of the pole they put Peter Stump's head.
Holy shit.
Dude, they tortured people in the most just creative ways.
Insane. They were really bored.
Creative enough that I think that they could have figured out werewolves weren't real.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, if we'd have put our energy that we put into contraptions and gizmos and torture devices, if we put that energy into figuring out forensics.
Well, that's coming up. So Peter Stump becomes, like, the printing press takes this story of Peter Stump, and it becomes one of the first, like, viral, I guess you would say, stories in European history. There are pretty much pamphlets. There's one particular one called The True Account of Peter Stump that is sent around pretty much...
This sounds like a Ben Stiller movie, sorry.
Pretty much takes hold of Western Europe and the Western European imagination. And by this... Oh, I forgot. After Gilles Garnier is executed, the Dole of France, the people in charge of that, passed a law saying that anybody who wants to kill an accused werewolf is able to. So eventually... Anyways. Yeah. Peter Stump is... And that's 1589. The fervor of werewolves had been taken over... Well, sorry. Peter Stump represents, obviously, being a different background than Gilles Garnier, what is our current kind of most common depiction of werewolves and what they represent, which is the representation of the fear of the beast inside of the human being. Right? What does a person become when they give into these lesser urges, if you will, or if they abandon the trappings of civil society and that kind of thing?
Oh,
the fervor had taken control of Europe, but by 1614, that fervor breaks. I believe it's France again. In 1603, sorry, the kid was 14. In 1603, there is a 14-year-old shepherd named Jean Grenier who is accused of being a werewolf and eating children. Jean Grenier, under no threat of torture, essentially confesses to all these many crimes. And it is so absurd to the people who were at trial that he was capable of doing this that he is convicted, but not of being a werewolf. Instead, Jean Grenier is convicted of being an imbecile and suffering from malnutrition. He is not executed. Instead, he is sentenced to a life confined within a monastery, where he is treated to the best of their ability then and provided for. And that represents the end of the trial of werewolves as monsters and the recognition of Western Europe that werewolves and the myth of werewolves is more to do with mental health issues and that. So that brings pretty much werewolf and werewolf stories and human history like as a real thing to an end. And what re-kicks werewolves into contemporary media is a book by a woman named Sabine Baring-Gould. Ooh. She wrote a book called The Book of Werewolves in 1865, which brings this history back up and romanticizes it for the purpose of storytelling.
Oh, wow.
And the Book of Werewolves becomes a foundational kind of book and inspiration for 1897's Dracula from Bram Stoker, who takes a lot of werewolf myths and applies them to vampires. And then it becomes a part of the horror genre.
Whoa.
And that's the history of werewolves. Sorry for going on so long, guys.
No, that's super fucking interesting. Like, I like the idea of a noble, because it's the same idea as like what's left for them to enjoy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, and I would imagine at this time, in that time in Strasbourg, Germany, Peter Stump was considered a wealthy person.
Yeah.
And it was the Little Ice Age. There are a lot of people who were probably very impoverished.
Yeah.
Living in the village. So what more could Peter Stump want? I'm sure he was a target of resentment by the peasantry in the area as well as the Catholic Church.
Man.
That's wild, dude. I didn't know any of that.
It's
I
crazy.
Assumed like people were maybe back then murdered a lot on nights of full moons because you could see a little.
You could see things, and if you're going to attack somebody at night, you do it.
Yeah. And like that's just kind of always been kind of where I imagine.
Oh yeah, and there are rational explanations. Like that's obviously a contributing thing.
Yeah,
and like. What's that fungus that grows in wheat that causes people to hallucinate?
Yeah. I forget what it's called.
Air goat or something.
I don't know.
There's that. There's rabies. There's... Like, it's all those compounding factors coupled with the historical context that leads to pretty much just mass hysteria.
Well, and
people being willing to buy into mass hysteria.
And didn't Native Americans, therefore, like, they told stories of, like... shape-shifting.
Oh yeah, and like skinwalkers can be considered a cousin of the werewolf myth. Right? Absolutely. I think all human cultures have stories of men turning into beasts.
Yeah. And one thing that I always find interesting about the horror history when we're talking monsters is it always just ends up highlighting how monstrous humanity is.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All of human imagination is essentially just a reflection of what we know to be true about ourselves.
Right.
Woo! Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, man. Well, never mind. I'll save that for Mad Dogs next year.
I gotcha.
Just had a thought.
Still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about movies, though. What movies do I need to check out?
Well, first off, do I need to hit some tones?
There we go.
The tones of darkness.
Okay. Well, first off, y'all go check me out on Brad's Unreliable Reviews on Instagram. So I'm going to pretty much talk about one book that I'm looking forward to, one that I have read, and then I'm going to mention one that I am dumb that I haven't read yet that everybody raves about. So first one is a book I haven't read. It's been on my Goodreads list. It's called Sharp Teeth by Toby Barlow, and it's about an ancient race of lycanthropes that have survived to like the present day, and their numbers are growing. And bent on dominance, rival factions are initiating the down and out of Los Angeles into their ranks. And caught in the middle of it is this kind-hearted dog catcher. And the object of his affection is a female werewolf who has like abandoned her pack. So like I'm really interested in that just because like you're talking about ancient werewolves in Los Angeles setting, which I think could be really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that I am dumb that I have not read. One, its setting is in Arkansas, so I should have already read it. But Mongrels. By
I've been
Stephen
meaning to
Graham
get to
Jones.
that.
Yeah, like I have the book. I have it on my Kindle. And if I remember correctly, it's about a family of werewolves that are on the run in Arkansas.
Ooh.
Yes.
And I mean, come on, it's Stephen Graham Jones. He's one of the biggest authors in horror right now and has been for over a decade at this point.
Yeah,
but he's kind of one of those you either love his writing style or you don't.
He's one of my favorites.
He doesn't have my favorite writing style, but I'll tell you this: all of his stories are awesome. It's kind of like Stephen King. Like he writes a lot of really cool stuff, but you might not like the way he presents it or like the way he writes about it. But that doesn't mean there's not a really good story in there.
For sure.
And then one I talked about, what was it, a few weeks ago, I think, When the Wolf Comes Home. I talked about it last week, When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. And I probably should have saved that one for this week, but it's not really a werewolf book, but it starts off as a werewolf book. So what it is this young, struggling actress finds this 5-year-old boy who ran away from his abusive father because his abusive father is a werewolf. But what it is, this kid sees his dad as a werewolf, therefore his dad actually becomes a werewolf. This kid's fears come to life. So like anything he imagines might actually be happening will happen. So like if he imagines a monster, that monster will manifest himself. So his unfortunate father, just because he sometimes gets angry, he doesn't actually abuse the kid. He just gets angry sometimes, and his son is comparing that to a werewolf. Therefore, his dad actually starts turning into a werewolf and killing people. So his dad's actually like a victim.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's an
So Nat
interesting
Cassidy,
twist.
he's pretty awesome too. I really love Nat Cassidy's novels. So if you like that one came out this past year, and it's pretty good. But that's what I got.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Let me think. Tones.
Yeah. As you were talking, I remember two books that I love that are werewolves. First one I've talked about on the podcast before. It's Christopher Buehlman's Those Across the River.
I need to read that because Christopher Buehlman is amazing.
Yeah. I loved that one. Awesome. And then another one that I read, I'm not sure if it counts necessarily as a werewolf, but it's a wolf-appearing monster that transforms into an attractive lady.
Oh.
So I'll say it's called A Cosmology of Monsters. And it is about this essentially family in Texas, that is haunted, if you will, by by this monster, and it's like this monster from an alternate kind of dimension, kind of thing. But it's about this kid growing up with this monster as essentially his friend, but also the source of his family's trauma, and him growing up with it, falling in love with it. It goes back through his life, and then him as an adult, as he has to come back to this town. And I don't remember all the specific details, but I loved that book. I remember
This is really awesome.
Yeah. It's not so much scary as it is just a good story.
Yeah, man. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can make a non-horror centered with a horror environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. One that I've been meaning to get to for forever, Those Across the River.
I've heard of that one.
That's what we were just talking about, right?
Oh.
The Christopher Buell one?
Oh, that's Those Across the River?
I didn't realize that was the name of it.
Oh, my
Like,
bad.
it was like
I missed you saying the name. Sorry.
Yeah.
Am I-
It's all good.
I mean, there are some that I could mention here, but I'll mention them slightly here in a little bit because they were adapted into film, and those films, I'd like to talk about too. But I mean, like The Howling is based off of a novel.
Oh, yeah. I haven't ever read it.
I haven't either, but I need to.
And then Silver Bullet was based off Cycle of the Werewolf.
Cycle of the Werewolf.
I had no idea.
Sweet novella. I mean, you can crank that one out in an hour.
And I might.
It has really good art in it.
Are werewolves more common in literature than in cinema?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of bad ones because for some reason romance has really latched on to the werewolf.
I gotcha. They've
trope.
co-opted the werewolf.
So, where you get like romantasy, there's also a lot of romance in the werewolf horror genre.
Oh, yes.
So, like, I kind of avoid those just because romance isn't really my thing to read.
Yeah.
I don't mind books that have it in it. I'm just not going to read, like, something that's heavy into it.
Yeah.
Like the horny little book club.
I was about to say, dude, I'm sitting here and I can think of like 4 series that I've researched for Horny Little Book Club that are all werewolf shapeshifter stuff.
And speaking of Mongrels, the Stephen Graham Jones book, I am pretty sure that they are in the process of adapting that in a film. I don't think it's filming yet, but I think it's in the works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's really all I had for tomes.
Yeah.
Top 5?
Cool.
Yeah, man, we can talk about some. Well, first, before we get into top 5s, you know what? No, let's just do it because what I was
usually
gonna
end
ask
up having the conversations as we.
Yeah, it'll get answered.
Yeah.
The question I was thinking. So
Okay.
Time for the top 5.
all right, Shug. Will pretty much said he doesn't want to do a top 5 because it would be all the underworlds.
Yes.
So
I will
You
get
wanna
it
go or
kicked
me?
off. You
All
can
right,
go
let's
first.
go.
I'm pulling my notes back up.
Oh, all right. So, my number 5, I watched for the first time this weekend, and it's 1981, The Wolfen. So it's called The Wolfen.
Okay.
And this movie, I do not know how I had never heard of it until I started researching for this episode. And I watched it and I was like, dude, this is freaking sweet. So, it is, think of Predator 2. Like Predator 2 goes into New York City and it's that whole urban environment.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how this is. It's very similar to that style where it's a couple of cops are investigating these, grisly murders that are going throughout the city. And he's discovering that it's animal attacks. I don't really want to spoil
Okay.
like this is a twist on the werewolf genre. So like,
Awesome.
it has a lot of folklore and Native American folklore in it, to where talking about how pretty much mankind, like humans, will move into an area and pretty much try to take it as their own, and then you're left defending what's left of your home. So like that's what's happening in this, but it's pretty brutal. It's got a lot of really brutal deaths, and it's got Gregory Hines in it, who
No way.
I freaking love, dude. Albert Finney. It's got Edward James Olmos. It's got Tom Noonan in it. It's got a lot of really good actors in it. Yeah.
How have I never heard of this?
So it has aged like really well, that people are now talking about a little more. But at the time, it was too offbeat for the werewolf genre to really get like its like grounding. So like it didn't flop, but it didn't do amazing.
Okay.
But it's directed by Michael Wadley, who is the guy who did the Woodstock documentary in 1970.
Oh, nice, man.
And he also did the Who's That Knocking on My Door, which I think is the it's a psychological drama. And then he did a few more like really big time musical documentaries, but he also did one that I can't even I can talk about it. He did a documentary in the 60s called No Vietnamese Ever Called Me the N-Word.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's a documentary on how African Americans struggled with Vietnam due to how they were still treated in America.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, really, he's only done 2 movies that weren't documentaries, and Wolfman's one of them.
Dude.
And, man, it's really good. You should check it out. I think you'd dig it.
What year was it again?
81.
I'm gonna check that out. That sounds really
that's
cool.
good.
So yeah, man, that's my number 5.
All right, my number 5. This is a weird one. It is a TV movie. It is one of my all-time favorites from childhood. It is Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dracula
That's rad.
turns Shaggy into a werewolf so he can race in the Monster Road Rally.
I remember this.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, if he wins, he gets cured. If he loses, he's stuck a werewolf forever.
Dude, I remember that like vaguely, but like you just like pulled a memory out of like the back of my brain.
There's that scene where they're at the drive-in movie at the beginning, and that's when he gets turned into the werewolf, and then he like starts freaking out, and then he gets invited to the Monster Road Rally, and I love that movie so much, dude. It's Cannonball Run plus Scooby-Doo plus werewolves.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Yep.
That's it. There's another Scooby-Doo movie where they were on that island, like around, it was like a
Zombies.
voodoo.
Yep.
Right.
Which one?
There was one with werecats,
Oh.
with these witches on an island
Yes.
around New Orleans, and then they turn into like these cat monsters. Like,
Yeah.
that's werewolf adjacent.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, some of the Scooby-Doo movies are absolutely slept on.
Dude, some of them are... Dude, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School? Get out of here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
Didn't
love it.
expect that one.
It's one that means a lot to me. It's one that I think people should go find and just give it a shot.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Get
All
real
right, so-
Brad, you got number
stoked
4?
and watch that.
Yeah. My number 4. I do want to backtrack real quick. My number 5, The Wolfman, is also based on a book with the same name called The Wolfman. So I'm interested to read that and see if it's as good as the movie. I'm sure it is. It's a book. But going on to my next one, also based off of a book, is 1981's The Howling.
Very good.
I'm going to be real honest. I love The Howling, but it's been years since I've seen it. I mean, it's been over 10 years since I've seen it.
It's also my number 4.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
So like, it was fun, but it was also real creepy when I watched it a lot as a kid.
It's a legit scary movie.
Absolutely. And it has a lot of werewolves. It has a lot. It's one of the first of that decade that really showed the werewolves a lot too.
Yes.
Like once you discover them and start seeing them, like they got some really good just costumes, practical effects, everything about that movie. And that's really why I put it in the top 5. One, because it's the 80s on steroids.
That's what I was going to say, dude. What I love about that movie is that it is such a contemporary werewolf movie. Like, it is so of the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I love about it is it's like slowly, well, I don't want to give too much away, but slowly it reveals that the monsters aren't interested in hiding anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I remember correctly, she is sent there to do a story on it, right?
Yeah, she's a reporter that gets attacked.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch it again and refresh my brain on it, because like it had some great moments in it.
Yeah, and I think it's got 2 or 3 sequels.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I've never watched any of the sequels.
Me neither.
It's kind of like there was I almost compare it to like Fright Night.
Yeah.
Where like Fright Night had a ton of sequels and they're not good.
No, they're not, but the original is.
But the original, yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of how I feel about the Howling, even though it doesn't have the comedy appeal that like Fright Night had.
Right. But it did have that flair, like that flavor, that 80s flavor.
I feel like 80s always has a little bit of comedic flair to it because of just how 80s cinema is, but it was definitely not a comedy.
No. And I remember watching scenes of it and being for real scared, but I was like probably 12 or 13 the first time I saw it.
Yeah, which, speaking of comedy, leads me into my number 3.
Hit me.
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
That's my number 3. And I'm going to be honest, when I was a kid, not a comedy to me.
No.
Even though it was a comedy.
Yep.
Now, Will, you've seen American Werewolf in London, right?
Bud? I hate to say it, no. Because I think that was one that I wasn't allowed to watch when, man, somebody was watching. I'm familiar with it. Like, I've seen scenes of it.
You should definitely watch it, and I am pretty sure it is free on a few streaming services. Yeah. So it's...
You're going to love it.
It's also 1981.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big year for werewolves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were off camera earlier when I was mentioning that to Shug, that 3 of my top 5 were all in the same year.
Wow.
The Year of the Wolf.
So
no, I know it's one I need to see, but it's one that I just haven't taken the time to go back and watch, man.
Now, it's directed by John Landis, who did like Blues Brothers and a lot of other famous comedies.
Yep.
But I will say, when I watched this as a kid, I did not find it funny. It terrified me, especially the beginning. You know, when they're hitchhiking through England, and they go in that they go in that bar, and everybody's holed up because they know, like, this little town. It's like a little village. They know what night it is, and so they all meet up on the full moons every month, and they just drink and have fun, and they stay inside
and lock themselves in this bar.
And they're outsiders, and they show up while they're doing their cross country hitchhiking, and they just make them feel so unwelcome that they let them just walk out and go, knowing that they're about to get killed.
Yeah. I'm looking at like screen captures from this, and every one of them is hitting a part of my brain that it's like, when you see something that you forgot you saw.
Yes.
I must have seen this, but I was just so young that I've forgotten it all by now.
Yeah.
Well, like Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's two things that like have always been ingrained in my brain since I watched this as a kid.
I remember the transformation.
Yes.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
One of the best transformations in
Ever.
all of werewolf like cinema.
Period.
And then two is the scenes when he is seeing his friend dead and
Yes.
talking to him. Dude, those that creeped me out as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaked me out, man. And I know it's a comedy, but when I watch this movie, even like now as an adult, I still like see it through the lens like that I did when I was a kid. Obviously, like I do notice more of the comedy elements that it has. The actors are great in it. The main
Dustin
actor,
Hoffman and fucking
dude, David Naughton, the main actor, is incredible. Wait, did you say Dustin Hoffman?
isn't he in it? Or am I tripping?
You're tripping, dude.
Okay, never mind.
There's no way. I'm looking now. Yeah, he's not in it.
Okay.
No, you're thinking Rain Man.
No, I'm not thinking of Rain Man.
Oh, it's Tom Cruise.
I'm thinking of
and
Meet the
Dustin.
Fockers.
Yeah.
That's
Tootsie?
That's about
Yeah, that's a transformation.
Rain Man's about an autistic man and his midget brother.
Two autistic men.
man.
Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of expected this to be on your list too, Shug, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
It's my number one though.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just. You don't even. You can talk about it when we get to number ones because should wait.
I'll just like everything you said is like what makes it great. I think that one of the things in the movie that is very dark and is very funny is his friend comes back as a ghost to kind of help him through this situation as a werewolf. And very quickly his solution becomes you should just kill yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that scene right there, and if I remember correctly, that's when he's at the girl's house
Yes.
while she's off, and and he's just sitting there having a conversation with them. And dude, I don't know why as a kid that freaked me out.
It's such a good movie, dude.
And I think that's what's so great about it too. Like I love movies like horror comedies that you saw as a kid, and you're like, as a kid that wasn't funny at all. Like, it scared me. But then as an adult, you appreciate the comedy part of it, and that's kind of why I love this movie so much. Is because I get to I've seen it from now two separate lenses, and it just makes the horror comedy so much better.
Yeah. But how about the ending?
Sad.
Sad, right?
It's sad, man.
It's a real sad ending.
Well, like werewolf movies shouldn't have a happy ending.
No.
No, if the protagonist is a werewolf, it shouldn't have a happy ending.
They're going to have a bad time. So we're on to number...
Damn, man, we're on twos.
I think I still got my three.
No. You got your three.
Okay. My number three is a little movie we discussed earlier. I think it doesn't get the credit it deserves for reigniting the genre. And I'm going with Underworld.
Underworld.
No,
Yep.
it's not where I thought you were going, but I'll go there here in a minute.
I'm going with Underworld. I thought Underworld as a movie, is it silly? Yes. Is it action-packed? Yes.
Yeah.
Are there parts that are creepy and scary? Yes.
And
Kate
does it have
Beckin-
Kate Beckinsale in tights?
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I like this one too, though, because it's also a story of vampires and werewolves and a human caught in between that holds the key to ending all of it.
Yeah. It's one of those cool movies that it's like especially when you're younger, you love a movie where there's this underground hidden world revealed to you.
Exactly.
And there's this whole it's the same thing with John Wick now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's this underground world of assassins that operates under the surface of our world.
Yep.
I feel like
It's the
that was a very common trend in movies in the 2000s.
yeah. And then I just remembered it's literally called Underworld.
Yeah. But like, and you know, and the werewolves in that movie aren't necessarily as much. They are monsters, but they're also like an enslaved, like underclass people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, like, one thing I love when I think of that movie is, you know, what year did that come out?
2003, 4, somewhere in there.
Okay, so I was like 12 maybe when it came out. And I just remember seeing the trailer for it, and I remember how stoked I was to watch that movie when I saw the trailer. I was like,
It was huge.
I remember it being like, was it when she's running through the hallway and they're all the werewolves are like going across like sideways on the walls, and
Yes,
I was
dude.
like, oh, dude, this looks dope.
Yeah, it was the Matrix plus werewolves
Yeah, and vampires,
and vampires.
Yeah.
but werewolves is what like drew me to it,
Yes.
and Kate Beckinsale as a
Yeah.
12.
I do have a top 5. Sorry,
See?
it's
man.
Yeah.
It's Underworld, The Northman, Scooby Doo.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Sorry.
Number 2.
Yeah, man, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, this is where I thought you were going with this, and this is what I consider it's not my number 1, but I consider it the greatest werewolf movie.
Go for it.
And the reason it's not my number 1 is purely nostalgia.
Say it.
Dog Soldiers is the greatest
I knew it.
werewolf movie ever made. It is only my number 2. Holy crap. You talk about a low budget
Yeah.
film directed by Neil Marshall, who this kickstarted his career. Like he did episodes in Game of Thrones, he did episodes of Westworld, he directed The Descent. I mean, this guy, like, this is what kickstarted his career.
The Descent
And-
is awesome.
Oh, dude, The Descent's incredible. And what's really cool is, like, the cast has the little heartthrob dude or whatever from Grey's Anatomy. It's got Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Pretty much like a lot of Irish actors, or Scottish. And what it is, if you've never seen it, have either of you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen it.
Okay. Will, if you watch this movie, I think you'll be like, okay, werewolf movies can be freaking awesome.
Yes.
And it's about these Scottish soldiers who go on this they're going on like a training mission. It's not an actual mission. It's just a military exercise. In the Scottish wilderness.
Yeah.
And they discover dead bodies in a tent that were like just shredded apart. And then also a guy who had previously kicked the main character, like cut him from being part of the Scottish Special Ops, and they find him he had been bitten, but they don't know what, they just think he's been injured. Anyways, they take him to they found this little cabin right out in the middle of the woods, and they hole up there, and through the night they start being just attacked by a group of werewolves. And it's action packed, it's bloody,
It's gnarly.
It's got comedy, but it has what I would call the best practical werewolf costumes in the history of werewolf movies.
And as a result of that, some of the most gruesome kills.
Yeah, dude. You got the guy who And he's one of the main characters. But he's sitting there in the bed with his intestines showing.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember the dog? They have the pet dog or whatever.
I remember now.
That starts grabbing his intestines and pulling.
Yeah, dude.
And playing tug of war with his intestines.
I remember now.
Dude, it's bloody. It's freaking awesome. Honestly, Will, like if you go to IMDb and pull it up, like you'll probably see like what they look like in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those movies that turned into a massive cult classic.
I gotcha. I've heard about it before, and it's one that I think I should absolutely go back and give a watch.
Oh yeah.
I truly think it's probably the most well done werewolf movie.
All right.
It's very, very good.
You should check it out. You'll like it, man. You'll dig it.
Okay.
All right, man. That's my number 2.
If that's your number 2, then my
I know
number
what
2
yours is.
got to be your number 1.
Absolutely.
My number 2 is Silver Bullet.
Yep. That's my number 1.
A young, wheelchair-bound kid named Marty starts to suspect that there's a werewolf in his town that's responsible for all these murders and attacks. None of the, again, like classic 80s, none of the parents believe him, no adults believe him, except for his beer drinking, firework toting Uncle Red.
Gary Busey.
Gary fucking Busey.
Pre-injury, brain injury, Gary Busey, right?
Yes, pre-brain injury. Plays Uncle Red. Uncle Red believes him. Uncle Red hooks him up with he soups up the wheelchair.
Yeah, man. Puts the little engine in it.
Yep. And
just like passing cars.
Yeah, dude.
On the highway.
And then, he thinks there's a werewolf, and he's trying to figure out. A lot of the movie is him trying to narrow down who it is, and then he narrows it down pretty quickly to the town's priest.
Yeah, and because of the firework.
Yep.
The bottle rocket. That is how he knows it's him.
Yep.
Because when he gets attacked by the wolf, he shoots him in the eye with the bottle rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to get something, I think, from the preacher's house or whatever, and he's got an eye patch.
Yep. And it's a tense conversation.
Because he knows he knows.
Yes. And then it's about and then it turns into a Lost Boys Fright Night. The monster knows I know, but nobody believes me except Uncle Red.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll say, like, it's my number 1, and I love that all my dogs just go crazy as I start talking. But
I know.
So it's my number 1 because this is the movie that truly got me into horror. And not just, like, the werewolf genre, but, like, dude, Silver Bullet, it was, at the time, when I was a little kid watching this all the time with my brother and my dad, like, was terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying movie.
Yes.
And just, I freaking love it, man. And, you got Marty Feldman. Right? Marty Feldman?
Yes.
And then Gary Busey.
Oh,
Stephen
no.
King. Not Marty Feldman.
Yeah,
That's
Corey Haim.
Corey Haim. The other one.
The other Corey.
of the dudes, of the bros.
Yeah, the late Corey.
Yeah. So, yeah, just an absolute great movie.
Yeah. Like, doesn't get more fun, doesn't get much scarier, doesn't get more classic 80s hijinks than Silver Bullet. We have any honorables?
Hold on. You can edit this out real quick, but I'm about to tell my dogs to shut the hell up.
Go ahead.
I don't know that I have an honorable mention. I will say what I'm excited about.
Okay.
And I jokingly called Northman a werewolf movie earlier. But I was watching The Northman last night, going back to rewatch it, and it has me just so freaking pumped for the new Robert Eggers werewolf movie.
Right, dude? Oh, I need to go back and watch the fucking Northman.
We watched The Northman, and it's like, because I was thinking, cause I'm a werewolf skeptic, and I was like, well, how, I know Robert Eggers is going to do a good job, but how could werewolf be Nosferatu?
And then you watch The Northman.
And then I watch The Northman, and I see it. It's in the DNA.
Yes.
It is absolutely there. It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back.
Did anybody see that new werewolf movie, the one with the girl from Ozarks?
I did.
Is it good?
It's not
I almost watched
great.
it.
It's not great, but it's a one-time one. Like, you watch it one time, and you're like, okay, that was decent. I don't think it landed with the audience that it was hoping, but it's still a good first time watch movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's got some pretty good scenes in it. It's got a very interesting looking werewolf. I mean, I liked it. I'll watch it again. It'll just be enough where I completely forget about it.
Yeah. A movie I watched randomly one day that I ended up liking way more than I thought I was going to when I put it on is Werewolves Within. It's the one with Sam Richardson.
Dude, I didn't like it.
You didn't
You
like
didn't
it?
like it?
I didn't like it. And I love
Man,
that.
I loved it.
I thought it was great, yeah.
And maybe I wasn't in the mood for it when I watched it. Like, I thought,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just didn't like it.
But yeah, it was a random day. I had nothing to do. I went in with just the lowest of expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was something I had never heard about it, and I saw it for free on something, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it.
I do have a few honorable mentions
Yeah.
now that my dog shut up.
Me too.
So I watched this one recently. It's a werewolf comedy called The Wolf of Snow Hollow. And it's actually really high up on a lot of lists.
That sounds really good, actually.
And it's about this cop who, man, I have Animal House going on right now, and it's crazy. Like, foster cat literally just somehow opened the door to this room, and then my two cats were like trying to kill each other. So it's just like, are you freaking kidding me? But anyways, so the Wolf of Snow Hollow, like, dude, it's got like really dry humor.
I could not finish that movie. And I know that it's divisive like that. I went into it wanting to like it.
It's one that I won't say it was amazing or anything, but I thought it was a good one-time, kind of like, Werewolf Within and things like that. Like, I can do it one time, but I don't think it's going to be something I go back to.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
absolutely.
really felt like the director, writer, main actor guy kind of overacts a little bit in it, but
That's what did it for me. That was it, yeah.
But then I started thinking, is he overacting, or is it part of his comedic style?
Yeah. Is it
couldn't
on
tell.
purpose or not?
Yeah.
You know what? I did finish it. I did finish it.
And I mean, it was okay. The Wolfman remake didn't hit as much as everybody thought it was going to when it came out. And what was that? 2010.
No. I have fond memories of that movie, but it's not the movie.
Yeah. It's not because of the movie, but
We
Is
got
that a story I need to hear off air?
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one that could easily be in a top 5 for me, but I'm only not doing it because it's not a werewolf movie. It's
What?
Freaking Monster Squad, man.
Duh.
Yeah.
One of the best werewolves.
One of the Wolfman
Best
has
part of-
nards.
Yeah, dude. One of the best parts of my dad used to get so pissed off because every single time which was a lot, that we went to the movie place, I went straight to the horror section and grabbed Monster Squad.
Fuck yes, dude.
Like, I could have just bought it, but it didn't exist at the time to buy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in that weird era in the 90s where, like, you couldn't find certain VHSs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
even the werewolf in Monster Squad, though, does not want to be a werewolf.
No. Yeah, I mean, the scene where he's in the phone booth and he's calling, and then, you know, he gets arrested on purpose.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
Dude, Monster Squad's just that. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorite horror films.
Yeah,
and
period.
Like, the only reason it's not on my top 5 is because it's not a werewolf film, but it does have a werewolf.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like all the Universal monsters.
Every one of them.
Yeah, all of them.
I wanted to mention...
A lot of bad slurs in it that did not age well.
Dude, within the first 5 minutes of the film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep.
You're like, that doesn't fly anymore.
Yeah, uncalled for.
I wanted to mention motherfucking Teen Wolf, of course.
Yeah, Teen Wolf, fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Fun.
Very
Hilarious.
fun.
Michael J. Fox.
Tense ending.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Really
Some
out
great
of
basketball. Great
tone
basketball
ending.
movie. Ginger Snaps.
I was just gonna say Ginger Snaps, dude.
Dude, Ginger Snaps is dark.
Ginger Snaps is good.
It's good, and it almost made, like, when I say honorable mention, like, that one actually almost made it into my top. Had I not watched Wolfen,
Ginger Snaps
this
would have made it.
Ginger Snaps would have been my number 5.
If I hadn't remembered Scooby Doo, Ginger Snaps was going to be on mine.
Yeah, dude. No, Ginger Snaps it's so funny because it's your stereotypical 90s high school, like, kids out smoking on campus, not off campus, on campus, in class. Like, just like, that doesn't happen. That didn't happen in the 90s.
No. But if I had said, I would have loved that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Ginger Snaps is, if you don't like dog violence, don't watch it.
Don't watch that? Okay.
It's got some dog violence.
And then
It's off camera. But
there's another one that's real stupid. I've only seen about 20 minutes of it. Wolf Cop.
I've only seen posters.
For Wolf Cop?
Yeah, I've only seen posters, and I'm just like, I know it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
What? There was something Petrus said he would murder us if we don't mention it, but I've
Big
never
Wolf on
seen it, so I
Campus.
don't remember it. Yeah,
You don't remember? You don't remember? It was a TV show on like ABC Family. It was called Big Wolf on Campus.
Man, no.
It was about a teenager that gets turned into a werewolf and the stuff he deals with.
That's. I mean, I should just watch it. That sounds awesome in a terrible way.
In a very terrible way, because it's like he's a werewolf, but it's still like, who's going to ask me to the Sadie Hawkins dance? Because it's ABC Family.
Wow.
Who? Okay, has either of you seen the OG Wolfman? Because I was talking before we recorded, like, I haven't seen it, and I refused to pay $4 to rent a 80-year-old movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original Wolfman.
I mean, I bet it's good. I'll
It's
watch it at
probably
some
great.
point. I mean, for a 40s film, I bet it's great.
Yeah. Dracula's really good.
Yeah.
I don't really like werewolves. I probably won't like it.
You'll like Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, I'll check out those. Those gems, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude, Dog Soldiers is like something, and like I'm gonna just circle back real quick. Like when I saw that movie, I was at the movie store, and I was like, "What is this?" And the old head that ran the movie store, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's this new werewolf movie that just came out," you know. And I'm like, "Okay," and so I rented it. And dude, I remember like watching it. I was like, "Oh my god, this is wild!" It was awesome.
Shit. Yeah, so I guess that bring any other thoughts on werewolf cinema?
It's dying.
Yeah.
But
Eggers.
Eggers is bringing it back this year.
Eggers is going to revive it.
Eggers.
Yeah, we talked about.
Yep.
We talked about that. I went and I was wondering how he was going to handle it, and then I rewatched The Northman last night, and it's
going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
I'm going to just tell y'all The Northman is my favorite Eggers film, but
I'm trying to think. Northman's
not
up
horror
there.
related, but that's my favorite.
Northman's up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I got. You got any dead homies?
Ooh.
Mine is a lot of dead homies in the fog scene on
Nice.
Silver Bullet with the bat.
Yeah,
You see the
dude.
bat just like,
Boom. Boom.
which would be a great poster for this episode. Is the bat.
I think my dead homie is just going to be the main character's dead homie in Werewolf in London.
Pour one out, man.
Pour one out.
There you
go. Yeah. So that's going to do it for us. You can check out the other podcasts on the network. The Horny Little Book Club, That Don't Work For Me, Brother, a wrestling podcast for Marks by Marks. Bullshitting, The Revolution Will Be Broadcast, and the Black Manifold Transmissions. You can also get on Facebook and look for The Midnight Mass with Reverend Rott and Brother Herman Innards for updates on live shows and stuff going on there. We are going to, I think this will be out in time, we are going to have a show February 20th, 2026. We're going to be doing the movie Mandy.